Shalom, shalom. I want to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well and teach well while learning truth 100% according to the Bible. I also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophet, servants scattered abroad the four corners of the earth, and shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you sisters that are sincere in your children. Shalom. And in today's video is going to be titled, Give Them Warning from Me. Because ultimately, that's what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has set up his men to do in these times, to warn you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, ultimately about the times that are about to come, man, which are some very deadly serious times, man. As the scriptures have said, it's going to be a time like no other. You see, according to the book of Daniel chapter 12, Matthew chapter 24, verse 21, you see in various other different precepts throughout the scriptures, man. But these are the times we're about to come into, and they're fastly approaching. And I'm going to actually allow this video to play that I got from the brother, the Hopeful Elect 3. And we're going to kind of be building off of this video in the spirit. And I'm going to just allow the video to play. We're going to let it run, and I'm going to grab a few precepts, and Abaratazai be edifying to you brothers and sisters that come across it. But with that being said, fair use under the 1976 Copyright Act. I'm not getting paid for this video. This is only for educational purposes only. Fair use.
What do y'all think is going to crash the American economy first? I have other countries no longer doing business with the U.S., the bubble that private equity is creating in housing and healthcare right now, predatory lending on these shitty-ass new build houses. Have y'all been hearing what's going on up front? When you get the loan initially, they quote you a cost, and then it switch up on you in a couple years. People can't pay. The tariff back and forth with all this yo-yoing on the market, the collapse of small business because of the above mentioned, the Medicaid and Medicare cuts, collapsing the healthcare industry pretty much altogether, the rising unemployment rates that they continue to motherfucking lie about, and the fact that there's more people unemployed than there are new jobs being created. Not to mention all the issues with the supply chain. Certain areas of the United States is about to start experiencing stages of hunger. Y'all think this shit is a game. I'm just trying to see which bomb go off first that really tipped the shit all the way over till we all just sitting up here eating bread. Matter of fact, maybe bread, because I live on the East Coast. We got a little wheat. We got a little wheat over here. But we finna be eating crackers and canned vegetables, boo. Life will change for everybody. Y'all keep thinking everybody too bigger than the motherfucking program. Y'all better read the news and see what the fuck going on.
Right. And you hear what it is Eve is basically saying, and that's what the men of the Lord have been prophesying about, starting out with the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone. It tells you that in Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8, that the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesies both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilences. You see, those evils goes into the Hebrew word rayam, which means bad times. And that's what we've been warning you Israelites is coming, man, to this place, America. But ultimately, nobody's taking heed. Nobody's listening. Nobody's, actually believing in the things in which it is we're telling them, But these times are coming, man, and everybody can feel it. You see, so I'm going to actually grab this precept that I got right here. I'm going to start off in 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and I'm going to read verse 1. You see, it says, Behold, speak down the ears of my people. We know who the Lord's people are. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which makes up the biblical Hebrew Israelites. It says, Behold, speak down in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, right? When you go into that word prophecy, it means to say before. So that's what the men of the Lord are doing. We're warning you of these things before they actually take place. You see? So it says, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. You see? Verse 2. It says it caused them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. That's talking about these prophecies, man, because all of these different types of things, and which it is that we're ultimately warning you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American men and women that's going to come to America, is going to happen, man. You see bad times, miseries, you see evils, you see food shortages, all type of different things that people possibly can't even fathom with their mind that they think will never happen here in America. You people are going to see soon come that these things are really going to happen, man. You see? And I'm going to go on down, right? I'm going to read verse 3 as well. It says, Fear not the imaginations against thee, and let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. That word incredulity goes into unbelief. And a lot of our people, they're settled on their lees here in America. They don't believe that, ultimately anything bad is ever going to happen in this country. But that's a lie, man. You see, nothing but evils is getting ready to come to this place. As it tells you in 2nd Ezra 14 and 16, it says, For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen done shall be done hereafter, roughly paraphrasing it. So we are living in those times where greater evils is about to plague this place, America, man, on all sides, as it tells you in 2nd Esdras 16. And I'm going to actually grab 2nd Esdras 16 through the Spirit, so bear with me, just so we can get into that, right? Because this is what we see happening in America, man. This place is being plagued on all sides by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You got the economy getting weaker and weaker by the day. The U.S. dollar is constantly losing its value. You got the prices of food skyrocketing in this place. All of these things are indicators that this country is about to go down, man. You see, but people don't see it that way. They think that everything in this place is just going to continue to keep, staying afloat and running the way that it's running. But that's not the truth, man. This place is getting ready to go down, man. And that's why you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians ultimately need to be seeking Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in this time. And, getting right with the Lord while you still can. Because, hey, we're getting ready to run out of mercy. The grace period is getting ready to come to an end. And if you have not been seeking the Lord in this time, then, hey, you're going to pretty much be, messed up in these times that we're coming into, you see. But bear with me. I'm going to grab 2nd Esdras chapter 16. All right? Bear with me. And 2nd Esdras chapter 16. All right. And I'm going to start at verse... I'm going to start at verse 8, right? Because ultimately, like I said, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is the one that's sending these bad times that are ultimately about to come upon this place. You see, it's the Lord himself that is doing these things, right? It says, right, the mighty Lord, right, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, sendeth the plagues. What are the plagues? That's going into everything that's ultimately about to come upon America. The food shortages, the famines, the chaos that's about to happen. All of these different things are the plagues of the Lord, man. He's about to send these things upon America, Babylon the Great, and the world. But chiefly America, you see, because the people in this country are proud. You see, they don't believe that nothing can ever happen to this place. They believe this place is going to be untouchable forever. But little do they know the Lord is about to wipe this place from off of the face of the earth, man. That's what's ultimately about to happen to America. You see, so I'm going to finish reading. It says, the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues. And who is he, right, that can drive them away? The answer to that is nobody. Because nobody can ultimately stop these things in which it is the Lord is going to bring forth into this earth, because all of it is going according to prophecy. And we know that, as it tells us in Isaiah 55:11, that so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please and prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. That's the words of the Lord, man. So all of these prophecies are going to come to pass, man. Nothing is going to be able to stop what the Lord is about to bring upon his earth, man. You see? So I'm going to go down. Bear with me. I'm going to go to verse 37. That's where we're going to start at. And it says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, you see, because ultimately everything that we see happening here in America that people thinking is bad now is only going to get worse. So these things are going to get more intense, man. You see, things are not going to heat up how most people think it is, or it's going to slow down and get back better, and Trump going to bring the economy back, and all of these lies that these people promised you people. That's not what's coming, man. This place is about to go down, you see. And this is verse 38. It says, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, you see. Which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment, right? Verse 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, right? And the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. And that's what we ultimately see getting ready to come upon America. And it's already started. But like I said, things are only going to continue to escalate and get worse for this place, man. You see, those sorrows are going to continue to plague this place. So I'm going to get back to 2nd Esdras chapter 15. And I'm going to read verse 3 again. It says, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, you see. Because like I said, a lot of our people, they're in that spirit of unbelief, mainly the 2/3 of the nation of Israel. They don't believe that these things are actually going to happen to America. That's why they're out here just continuously living their lives day by day, just being careless, going about, focusing on the Joneses and the Smiths, worrying about everything else other than what's really going on. That's because really the Lord has blinded the 2/3 of his people from receiving his understanding, so that's why ultimately they don't believe. They don't think these things are going to happen. But it's going to happen, man, right? As it says right here, this is verse 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, man. So if you ultimately don't believe that the Lord is going to bring these things, then guess what? You're going to get caught dead slap in the midst of it, man. You see, for all of you Israelites out there that don't believe ultimately that these things are going to come to pass, you see, the Lord is going to prove you wrong by allowing these events ultimately to come. You see, that's why it tells you right here. I'm going to grab this precept. Bear with me. This is Ezekiel, and I'm going to go to chapter 2. right? Because we know that, as the scriptures have said, we're here to warn you Israelites, whether you hear or forbear. And we know that ultimately at the end of the day that this word is only for the elect of the nation of Israel, the 1/3 remnant. So they're going to be the only ones that's going to ultimately take heed of these warnings and truly repent and turn back to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. The 2/3 of our people are not going to do that. You see, that's why when these evils do get brought upon America, they're going to be the main ones suffering right along with the heathen nations. You see, that's what's coming, right? So bear with me. I'm going to grab Ezekiel chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse 3, right? In the KJV, getting straight to the point. And it says, and he said unto me, son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, which is a people before is a place, right? It said to a rebellious nation, right? And that's how our people are, man. They're very rebellious. They don't want to take heed of these warnings. They don't want to believe everything that we're telling them is going to actually happen. You see, that's why they be like, oh, those guys are crazy and all of this and that. You know, they don't want to believe that this place as they know it is about to come down crashing like a ton of bricks. These people don't want to accept reality, but that's what's coming, right? So it says, and he said unto me, son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation, right? That have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me even unto this very day. And that's what the 2/3 of our people are continuously doing. Transgressing and not following after the way of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, walking after the way of their own thoughts. You see, and that's ultimately why the Lord is about to bring these judgments, man. You see, why these times are about to get so sinister, right? This is verse 4. It says, for they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. You see, I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord power. And that's what we're telling you, Israelites. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Bible. As it tells you on down, verse 5. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house. Yet shall they know that there have been a prophet among them. And that's what a lot of our people is going to realize soon come, that ultimately when these things do come to pass that the men of the Lord have been warning them about, that they have not been believing is going to actually happen, then they're going to know that the men of the Lord were amongst them, man, and that we were ultimately warning them of all of these things before they actually happened. You see? So I'm going to get back to 2nd Esdras 15, and I'm going to read verse 5. It said, behold, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, you see. And we ultimately see a lot of those plagues that are happening now. You know, those plagues start off with the jobs that are being closed down, the businesses that are being foreclosed, you know, all of the people that are ultimately struggling, again, laid off left and right, suffering. You see, all of those things are part of the plagues that we see the Lord bringing upon this place, America. And like I said a little bit earlier, these things are only going to get worse. It's not going to get better for this country, man. Like a lot of people want to believe in their mind. You see, like believing Nero Trump that he's going to make America great again. But that's not what's going to come to this country. What's coming is complete chaos, complete lawlessness, destruction. You see, that's why the Lord said in St. Matthew chapter 10, verse 34, to think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword, man. That sword represents destruction, chaos, calamities. You see, pandemonium, fear. That's what the Lord about to bring to the earth, man, especially to this place, America. You see, so I'm going to finish reading it. This is the reason why the Lord is about to bring these evils, right? Verse 6, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. You see, so that's ultimately why the Lord is about to judge this place from all sides with all of these different plagues, man, because of all of the wickedness that is happening, especially among his people, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man. You see, the Lord is, you know, tired of all of the wickedness that he's seeing his people commit, man. And we're getting to the point where, as it says on down, I'm going to finish reading this, verse 7. Therefore saith the Lord, verse 8, I will hold my tongue, right? No more is touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. And that's the point in time that we're at, where the Lord is no longer holding back his tongue from the wickedness that his people is doing. And he's about to start judging them according to their wicked ways, man. That's why all of these plagues and all of these different evils are about to come forth, you see? So it said, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And we know that the souls of the just is talking about none other than the elect, man, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. They're the only ones sighing and crying to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua for the abominations that are being done in the midst thereof. Right? So they're the ones complaining consistently to the Lord about all of the wickedness that we got to see, being vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, which is mainly the good majority of our people. You see, these are the things that we're constantly complaining and telling to the Lord, man. And guess what? He's getting ready to judge this place, man. You see? So it's only going to get worse for here on out in this place, America, man. You know, the Lord is not bringing any peace or any good times to this country like a lot of you people want to believe in your minds. You see, because a lot of people, they just don't want to accept reality that this place, America, as they know it, is over, man. You see, especially our people, because they love being in denial, man. You see, as it tells you in Isaiah chapter 30, I'm going to grab that because our people love hearing smooth things, man. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear that, oh, man, the Lord is judging this place. That's why things are getting worse. They don't want to believe that in their minds, you see. That's why they're okay with hearing lies and hearing that things are going to get better and believing in these politicians and these governors and presidents and everybody else they put their trust in, man. Because our people trust in oppression, right? I'm going to go to this. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 9, that this is a rebellious people, talking about you Israelites, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord. They don't want to hear what Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has to say through his men that is ultimately speaking and giving you warnings. They don't want to believe what the men of the Lord are giving them. You see, what we saying don't sound right in their eyes, you see, or in their ears. It sounds crazy, but they don't want to believe it. But these are the words of the Lord that we're giving them, you see. So I'm going to finish reading in verse 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, right? Prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits, you see. And that's what Jake and Eve want to hear in America. You see, they don't want to hear, thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Bible. They don't want to hear that America, as they know it, is over. You see, they want to hear that, oh, it's going to jump back. It's going to get back great again. You see, just give it a little time. We're going to get back going and things going to get back normal for this place soon come. That's what they want to believe in their mind. Because like I said, our people love it here, man. They don't want to see this place be destroyed. 2/3 of our people, they absolutely love America, man. You see, they don't want to see the Lord return. You see, at all. That's why a good majority of our people, they're going to have to die in these times that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is about to bring. That's why it tells you in Zechariah 13:8 that 2/3 shall be cut off. You see, and that's why they're going to be cut off, man, because they ultimately don't want to follow after the ways of the Lord. They want to follow after the ways of the world, which is going to lead you to your judgment. You see, that's why it tells you in Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12, that there is a way, right, which seemeth right unto a man or a woman, but the end thereof are the ways of death. You see, because everybody that's ultimately not following after the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you're going to die in these times that the Lord is getting ready to bring upon the earth. You see, that's just the truth about it. Right, so I'm going to get back. This is verse 11. Get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Yasharallah to cease from before us, right? Verse 12, wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Yasharallah, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay their own. And that's exactly what our people do, man. They trust in America. They trust in the so-called white man. You see, they don't ever think that this devil is going to come out of power. They trust in oppression. And that's why they ultimately don't want to let this place go, you see. But hey, this place is going down, man, whether you like it or not. You know, the Lord is about to judge this place, man. And that's the time and season that we are in. So I'm actually go up and we're going to grab another precept. I'm actually grab that Zechariah 13:8 through the Spirit, since I already mentioned it. Because ultimately, this is what the Lord is getting ready to bring to this place, America. You see a lot of judgment. You see a lot of death. You know, a lot of people, you know, mourning and crying. You know, it's about to be a lot of that happening soon come, you know. So I'm going to grab this. This is Zechariah chapter 13, and I'm going to start at verse 8, right? And it says, and it shall come to pass, right? This is talking about a future prophecy. This hasn't already happened. This is going to happen in our lifetime, you see, in the latter days, which is that time that we're in, right? It says that in all the land, which is talking about America, Babylon the Great, right? Saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. And who is that talking about? The 2/3 of the nation of Israel that have ultimately not taken heed from the men of the Lord, those that wanted to continue to walk after the ways of America. They're going to be the ones that's going to be cut off in these times through all of these different plagues and judgments that the Lord is about to bring to this place. They're going to get caught dead slap in the midst of it, you see? And it says, but the third shall be left therein. Who is that? That's talking about the elect. You see, the 1/3 remnant of the nation of Israel, those that have turned back to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, sorrowful and remorseful for their wrongful thoughts, sayings, and doings in this life as well as their past lives. So the Lord is going to have mercy upon them when he brings all of these different judgments to the earth, man. And we pray and hope, Abaratazah, that we're a part of that number. You see that the Lord has that Dawah upon us, man, which it tells you about in Ezekiel. And I'm going to actually grab that through the Spirit as well, because this is what we want to have upon us in these times that we know are coming. You see, we don't want to get judged with the rest of these people, man, the 2/3 of our people in these heathens, because we know what the Lord is about to bring upon them, man, and it ain't about to be nice. You see, so I'm going to grab Ezekiel chapter 9, and I'm going to start at verse 3. And it says, and the glory of the power of Yasharallah was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house, right? And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side, which is a death angel, man. You see, because that's what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is about to unleash upon the earth, man, especially in America. He's about to unleash death angels, and they're going to come in the form of these plagues that are about to happen. You see these pestilences, these famines, these sicknesses, the race wars, class wars, civil wars, gender wars. You see everything that he's about to bring, teeth of wild beasts. You know, these are going to be the things that the Lord is going to use as those spirits created for vengeance to bring judgment upon people, man. You see? So it says, I'm going to finish reading verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, right? This is going to happen in America, man. Through the midst of Jerusalem, which is a people before is a place, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sign that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And when it's talking about a mark, that Hebrew word goes into thawah, which means to be exempt from judgment. You see, and that's what the Lord is going to do for his elect. He's going to exempt them from the said judgment that he's ultimately about to bring upon America. You see, and this is what we want to have upon us. You see, Abaratazah, we be of the Lord's remnant. You see, because we know ultimately what the Lord is about to bring upon this place, and it ain't going to be nice. And we don't ultimately want to be partakers of it. You see, so that's why we pray and hope that this mark is upon us, because we know that the Lord is about to bring these evils, man. You see? So I'm going to finish reading it. I'm going to go to verse 5. It says, and to the others he said, in my hearing, go ye after him through the city, right? This is going to happen in America, right? And smite. That word smite means to put down in a... in a violent fashion, man. You see, because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is not about to have any mercy or pity upon the 2/3 of his people, nor these heathens, man. The only people that are going to receive mercy in these times are the elect. That's why they're about to make it in these times that are to come. They're going to endure and make it through everything that's to come soon come, right? But it says, I'm finished reading. It said, let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity, right? Verse 6, slay utterly old and young, you see, because it tells you in Romans chapter 2, verse 11, for there is no respect to persons. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So the Lord doesn't care how good you look, how young you are, how pretty you think you are. None of that don't matter when the Lord brings out these judgments, man. If you're not with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you're not of the elect, you're going to die. That's just what time we coming into in America, man. These are the days that are fastly approaching. You see, so I'm going to finish reading. It says, and little children and women, right? But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, man, which is the elect. You see the 1/3 remnant. You see the 144,000 men, which are 12,000 men out of each 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, and a innumerable multitude of believers, which consist of man, women, and children. You see, that's who the Lord is going to have that mercy upon. He's going to have those angels encamped around about them in these times, man, to deliver them and ultimately to, be with them. You see, for protection, because we're going to need it in these times. Because like I was saying earlier, these times that we're about to come into is going to be a time like no other. You ultimately going to need Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to make it through these times. You're not going to be able to get through these times, leaning unto your own understanding, going off of what it is that you thinking carnally. That ain't going to get you through these times. You see, you're going to truly have to have the Lord on your side guiding you through these times, man. Because like I said, it's going to be evils coming from all sides, man. You see, it tells you that in Amos chapter 5, verse 19, it said, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him and went in the house and leaned his hand upon the wall and the serpent bit him. You see, roughly paraphrasing it, that's how it's going to be out here in these times soon come. It's going to be evils on all sides. And the only way you're going to be able to be delivered out of these situations, the Lord is going to have mercy upon you. You see, he's going to have to be dealing with you. And that's only going to be given to the elect, right? So I'm going to finish reading. It says, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and began at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. So like I said, these are the times and seasons that we're ultimately about to come into, brothers and sisters, It's fast. Right, so I'm actually precept because like if you're not seeking Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, then these things that the men of the Lord have been speaking and warning you of, hey, they're gonna come upon you, man. Right, I'm gonna go to 2 Chronicles chapter 15. Right, so bear with me. This is 2 Chronicles chapter 15, and I'm gonna start at verse 12. You see. But the point is at 13. You see. And it says, and they entered into a covenant to seek the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the power of their fathers with all their hearts and with all their souls, right? Verse 13, that whosoever would not seek the Lord power of Israel should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. And that's what we tell you Israelites, man, that these bad times are ultimately coming if you're not seeking your power and trying to get right with him and store up those spiritual treasures in the heavens with the Lord. Then he's not going to have any mercy and pity upon you in these times that we're coming into. You see? So with that being said, Lord's willing, I pray this video be edifying to you, brothers and sisters that come across it. With that being said, we're going to end the lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honor to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well, teach well while I learn the truth, 100% according to the Bible. I also want to say shalom to the elect, shalom la abakarium, shalom.